We are here at the depot, the Carthage Junction Depot in Gordonsville, Tennessee. And the reason that we wanted to start our program here and do most of the program here is that we're in a campaign this month, Janie. We've got 60 days, basically, to move this from the spot that it's on to another spot to save it. And we're going to be talking about that, but we want to talk to you about three things, actually four things. We're going to introduce to you the new extension agent, Mr. Chris Hicks.
Sure, he's our new ag agent here in Smith County.
Yeah, and he's going to come in and tell us a little bit about what they do. Then we've got Miss Judy Smith is going to come and talk to us about the
William Walton Days.
William Walton Days, right. And then Kids Central. I'm not sure who's coming at this point. But
we'll talk about it anyway, either way.
We got a big thing happening at Kids Central. We're going to talk to you about that. And then, of course, we're going to talk to you about the Save the Depot campaign and what's going on with that and where we are. So,
and some upcoming events.
Yeah, upcoming events that are happening. I know the Quilt Show, and there's some other things going on. There's some stuff happening at Granville. So just stay with us, and we'll get you informed on what's happening in Smith County. Well, we're still here at the old depot, and we want you to remember about saving the depot. But we've got something else we want to talk about now. And Chris is here with us with the UT Extension Service. And Chris, why don't you introduce yourself to the folks there?
Well, I'm Chris Hicks. I was born and raised here in Smith County. In the Tanglewood community, we grew up on a farm and raised cattle and crops like tobacco and corn and soybeans. And I'm tickled to death to be back in Smith County and working for the folks here.
Well, we're glad to have you back. Tell me now, where did you go to school? I got a feeling I might know, but you tell us.
Well, I got my undergrad at Tennessee Tech in Cookeville in ag econ, agribusiness, and then went to University of Tennessee and graduated with my master's degree in ag econ. So I'm really proud of both of those degrees. I only wear the UT ring since they're the ones that signed the paycheck, but I'm really proud of both of those degrees.
Oh, fine institutions. Yeah, we're so lucky to have both of them in this state. I can't say enough good things about Tennessee Tech and UT. Okay, the job that you have here now, you're the extension agent, right? So why don't you just turn and just explain to these guys out here exactly what you and your office do and what you're trying to accomplish here.
Sure. Well, my role is to provide education to the farmers and the citizens of Smith County. Whether you're a farmer or not, there's an opportunity for education in anything you do, and I think there's something for everybody at the Extension office. My role is to help people grow things better, whether it's their lawn, whether it's their garden, or whether it's helping a farmer grow livestock or crops, using research-based information. A lot of times we can get information from a lot of places. We can Google it, we can look on the internet and find a lot of information, but it may or may not be good information that's research-based. And if you come to the Extension office, you know you're going to get good quality information that's been tested, that's been researched by university specialists, and you know it's going to be reliable, know it's going to be something you can count on.
Okay, now you are with the with UT Extension, and now that's not really with the state of Tennessee or with any of the governmental agencies, is that correct?
Sure, that's correct. We work for the University of Tennessee. There's a county office in every state in Tennessee, so any county you live in, you can go to your local UT Extension office and find information specific to your area. You know, what works in Smith County might not work in the far corner of West Tennessee or Upper East Tennessee. So if you come to your local office, you know you're going to get information that's specific to your area, and you're going to have someone that you can rely on, someone you can get used to and get to know. I'd be happy to come out to anybody's farm, anybody's home, and help them with their specific issues or their specific problems they may be having.
Well, I know at one time I have a bottom on my farm, excuse me, and I was needing to know the soil depth, and if I remember correctly, I believe it was an extension agent that came out. Do you do things like that? Do
sure,
soil borings?
Absolutely. We do soil testing, we do hay testing, forage testing. If you're wanting to put out a garden, if you're wanting to put out a crop, the first thing you need to do probably is to have that soil tested and know exactly what you've got, and that's one of the main things that we do is help landowners test the quality and the nutrition that their soil has, and help them improve that if there is an issue.
Yeah, this is bottom land on my farm, and I know they did the boring, and he had like maybe a 6-foot sampling tool, and it was topsoil all the way down. There's a lot of good land here in Smith County to raise crops on.
Absolutely.
Well, now, I know you work in conjunction with, like, the forestry and with TWRA and those agencies when the time comes. Forestry, the other day, I was talking to those guys, and I know we've had a lot of trouble with the emerald ash borer that's coming into the area, and maybe some other things that are attacking our trees. And they told me that they were actually doing a test on a parasite that would actually attack the emerald ash borer. So you guys are working on things like that too, as well, to help out.
Yeah. And that's one of the challenges is there's always something new. There's always a new bug. There's always a new disease or weed that is coming in that we've never seen before, so we have to learn about it just like the landowners do.
Yeah, well, I know that emerald ash borer came from Asia, and so they went over to Asia, and they're trying to get a predator that is non-invasive to our countryside, but yet it'll take care of that problem. So that's good. I know the chestnut blight wiped out trees many years ago. If you guys had been around, maybe that wouldn't have happened like it did. Anyway, we're glad you came here with us. Anything else you'd like to tell folks?
All right, well, I just want to let everybody know that I'm here, and I'm happy to help out any way I can. Call me at the UT Extension office, 735-2900. If you have any issues or you just want to talk and get to know me, I'd love to come out to your place and see what areas we could help out with.
Well, Chris, thank you very much. Appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
And as you can see, we're still in the old depot. If you want to know more information about that, you can call me or Janie or anybody. And Chris, we're trying to get this relocated. So any friends that you have that you know that might be interested in this, let them know, okay?
Good deal. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
You know what's coming up? Not this month, but just around the corner, Billy.
Oh, you mean in October when it'll be a lot cooler than it is now?
Let's hope so, because I'm hot in here.
I'm telling you.
I tell you, this is an old building, so there's no air conditioning, folks, except for the open doors. So, well, going back to what I was saying, coming up on October the 4th, now I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but there's a reason for it, is the Granville Quilt Show. Now, you may be wondering, why are we promoting the Granville Quilt Show?
When it's so hot.
When it's so hot. And usually it's hot that Saturday. It's always the first Saturday in October, folks, down in Granville, Tennessee, which is a part of Jackson County. But we claim it in Smith County because so many Smith Countyans are around that area.
They're involved, and I will say this, Granville, they're chamber members. We do so many things together.
They're our chamber members.
Yeah, and they support us, and we really appreciate the folks at Granville very much.
We really do. And I'll have to say, when they invited Smith County to be a part of their quilt show, I was sort of hesitant, but you know, why reinvent the wheel and have one here when there's one that a lot of counties can participate in? And that's exactly the way it is with the Granville Quilt Show. In fact, there are, we've added 2 counties. There's Salina, which is a new addition for this year, and Cookeville has been added. And then, well, actually, they've been a part of it on a small scale, but there's Gainesboro, Lebanon, Carthage, Livingston, Granville, all of Smith County, and Wilson County. And guess what?
What?
Smith County has had more entries than any other county for the last 3 years in a row.
Really? That is wonderful.
Yeah, we really do. So it's kind of our quilt show the way I see it. Yeah. Oh, don't tell the people in Granville that.
No, we won't tell them. Keep that a secret.
But anyway, the reason I'm saying this is because I want folks to start getting their quilts ready to enter. The entries will actually be taken here in Smith County on October the 2nd.
Okay.
October the 2nd from 1 to 3 at Community Bank in Carthage.
Okay.
Now, I'll tell you about some of the categories, but first I want to say this. If you are not a quilter and you would like to enter a quilt, you can enter one that you have inherited, that you've purchased. Why, Billy, you could enter your grandmother's.
I need to do that. We have the quilt at home. It's probably 100 years old, but...
Well, you might not want to, but with that said, anybody can enter a quilt. We've had some gentlemen enter their grandmother's, their mother's quilts, their wives' quilts, you know, and so we encourage you to enter this. It's in a beautiful setting in the little Granville United Methodist Church. But let me tell you about some of the categories, because we know we'll have a category that will probably fit just about anybody. We have the antique quilts that are 50 years old and older. You know what I was just thinking?
What's that? Tell me.
If they're saying quilts 50 years old and older are antique, that makes me an antique. And you.
Let's not talk about that.
Let's don't.
That's
okay.
why I don't sweat. I'm so old.
I know. Well, I'm sweating because I'm getting there really fast. They have hand quilted quilt category, machine quilted, baby quilts that are hand quilted, baby quilts that are machine quilted. The list goes on and on. Patriotic quilts, specialty quilts, miscellaneous quilted items. So this could be like a purse, a quilted purse, or a table runner, or they've got quilted throws. This year we've added a brand new category, and that, well, actually two, the embroidered quilts and quilted item that's not made of fabric.
No, really? What now?
What would
Explain
that be?
Yes.
Last year, we had a gentleman that actually used wood pieces to make a quilt block, and it was gorgeous. He did not paint it. It was unusual because the quilt pieces were different colors based on the type of wood that he used. And so we've got 20 different categories. If you need a quilt flyer like the one I'm holding in my hand, you can call the UT Extension office at 735-2900. We will send you one. One other thing that we've got going on this year that's really different, we were going to give a $100 award to the club, the Quilt Guild, or any group that has the most entries. So if you're a FCE club, if you're, if a Rotary Club wants to enter a bunch of quilts, your club can win $100. Any club from anywhere. They just need to mention on their registration form what club, quilt guild, or group that they represent. Now, we will be honoring several people, Nora Harris and Brenda Curtis, and everything starts at 9 o'clock on Saturday, October the 4th. Actually, it's from 9:30 to 4, but we're going to meet at the gazebo to recognize our special winners and guests. And if you would like more information, you can contact our office. And I encourage you to check into this because they will be having all kinds of demonstrations. They're going to have an actual old-fashioned quilt stand set up where a lady's going to be quilting. They're going to have quilting classes. They've got everything going on. And it's all a part of the Fall Heritage Festival down there in Granville. So it's not just a quilt show. They've got everything down there that day.
You know, it's amazing. I remember when I was a small child, the ladies would get together and they would do quilting.
Yes.
And they did that at the church. And also, if you go into the New Middleton Elementary School, on the right-hand side as you go into the hallway, there is an old quilt in there, and I believe, if I am correct, it is about 1915 or 1914, and it's talking about, it lists the names of folks that lived in the community at that time. So quilts were an integral part of what was going on around here for forever.
Well, it really was. Ladies got together and they got to know each other, and that was really their social outlet, if you think about it. And we're losing that art. And so I want to encourage you to get involved in this. It might just spark your interest. We had one of the honorees, Miss Anna Mae Langford from our county. She told us that after she retired from teaching, she took a quilting class, and now she's just a excellent quilter and has won many awards. So I encourage you to come out to the Granville Quilt Show on October the 4th, but don't forget to enter your items on October the 2nd. That's on Thursday from 1 to 3 at Community Bank in Carthage. Again, if you would like a flyer to learn more about the other things that they're offering that day, call my office at 735-2900. Come on out and join us. We're going to have a great time. Well, right now, I'd like to introduce Miss Judy Smith. Hello, Judy. Thank you for being with us today. Judy is here to talk about a really big event that actually started last year, right, Judy? And that is the William Walton Days. Now, Judy, let me ask you something. I know there's a lot of people that don't really know who William Walton is. So first of all, could you tell everybody a little bit about who William Walton was?
Well, William Walton goes back to the Revolutionary War era. He actually founded and gave the land where Carthage now sits. And his gravesite is actually located right across from Walmart here in Carthage. And of course, the William Walton Trail starts in East Tennessee and comes down and ends at that gravesite. So we're lucky to have that here, and that's why we chose to do a William Walton Festival every year, because he's a big part of our county.
Now, this year's festival, there's a big truck going by, so wait just a second. Okay, we're doing this live, folks, so it's actually live. There's vehicles out there and everything, but this year it's going to be held Saturday the 27th of
That's correct.
September.
Yeah.
And when will this start?
We're actually going to be having a kickoff dinner or supper on Friday night, and that's going to be provided by the elected officials of Smith County. That's going to be at 6 o'clock on the courthouse lawn. That's free for anyone that wants to come. We done that last year, but we actually done it on a Saturday afternoon, but we're moving this to Friday night. And then our event starts at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning. We have a lot of new things added this year. We're having an event at the William Walton Grave. The SAR and the DAR is doing an event there that lasts about 30 minutes. We're going to have our Revolutionary War reenactors. We're going to have vendors set up this year, which is a little bit different. We didn't have those
At the
last
courthouse,
year.
right?
At the courthouse.
Okay.
So anyone that's looking for a vendor spot that's crafty in Smith County, we still have some spaces available for that.
Okay. Now, on Friday night, you said the elected officials dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Now, last year they had to get tickets if they wanted to go. So, where would they need to go for those?
They can contact the chamber for that if they
Okay.
want to pick up a ticket, or they can contact any of the elected officials at the Turner Building for those.
And it's really neat because, best I recall, it was set up very old-timey.
Right. Yeah.
Beautiful setup. Okay, I am going to let Bill talk to you more about the William Walton
Okay.
Days. I think we're going to talk a little more in depth, so I'm going to hand the mic over to Bill, okay?
Sounds great.
Thank you, Miss Janie. Well,
Yeah.
it's good to see you.
Good to see you. I
Yeah,
see you every day,
Just about every day. Yeah, we're working on the Walton Days
We are.
event, and a lot of things are happening. There's a new event that we're going to have, and it's the Minuteman drawing. And
Tell us about that. I like that idea.
I wanted to.
Bill come up with this himself. So.
Well, I'm trying to patent this, but I've been told I can't. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to get a rotating drum, and we're going to get folks that attend the festivities. They're going to take and throw their cell phone number into this drum, and we're going to rotate that drum. And every so often, we're going to draw their name out, and we're going to get some sponsors. We're going to draw this name out, and we're going to give them a phone call on their cell phone, and then they'll have 1 minute or less to get to the stage. And if they get to the stage in less than a minute or right at a minute, they'll win a cash prize. And if they are longer than that, then they'll get a complimentary consolation gift. What we're going to do is we're going to take either a portion of or all of that money, and we're going to put it back in the pot, and then at a time like, say, 4 o'clock, sometime like that, and we'll announce this later, we're going to take and draw for the big prize of all the money that's left over. And so this Minuteman Challenge, where you get called on your phone, you could get called and win some money. So that's going to be a good thing, I think. Then we've got a lot of other things. We're going to have exhibitors. We've got several that have signed up. A lot of the churches and folks have signed up. You remember the Methodist Church had that good, what was it? Was it strawberry ice cream?
Strawberry ice cream, yes, it was.
Okay, they had that good strawberry ice cream. They're going to be there. Anyway, there's a lot of folks going to be there. We're opening it up to vendors this time, so if you're wanting to buy something, you'll be able to do that. We're going to close off the front part of the square, and we're going to have the traffic diverted around. There's going to be demonstrators that are doing things on the courthouse lawn, and I don't know, what am I missing here?
Well, 2 new things that we're adding this year is the scavenger hunt. We're going to be doing
yeah,
that. That
yeah.
time has not been announced, but it's probably going to be sometime in the morning. We suggest that you do this as a team effort. There's going to be about 25 different items that you're going to be looking for in the scavenger hunt. Going to be a time frame set on it. Each location is going to be numbered, and you're going to be given a point system, so whoever gets the highest points actually wins that, and there'll be a cash prize drawing. Also, we're doing a scarecrow contest I'm excited about. We already have ours at the chamber.
Yeah, he's sitting out front with his
Yeah.
little brochure about the town in his
Yeah.
pocket. He's looking good.
Tommy the tourist is who we've got at the courthouse.
It looks like he's been to Hawaii
at the
too.
chamber,
He just
yes.
came from a flight from Hawaii.
Yeah. So we're welcoming anyone, businesses or residential, to enter into the Scarecrow contest. We had several places. The hospital, I think, is talking like they're going to do one. So we're hoping to have a lot of them set around the town so people can enjoy seeing those, and there'll be a prize award for that also.
And we've got our T-shirts. They're going to be a little different this year, and we got our sponsors on the back, and Walmart, the Smith County Bank, Citizens Bank, and the Community Bank. They're our sponsors last year on the T-shirt, and we're looking forward to our sponsors supporting us again this year. And we've got some other folks that are going to be sponsoring events, and of course they'll have their sign up or have a booth up. North Central they're coming down. DTC is going to be there. We've got a lot of folks that are going to be supporting this event, so we're really excited about it. Also, the carriage rides, we forgot to mention
The
that.
carriage ride, the covered wagon. It's the covered wagon that
covered
we had
wagon.
last year, and he'll be here. I think the time's set for 3 to 5 o'clock, and that's a free ride. You get to ride around the courthouse. Tea time with Martha Washington's at 2 o'clock. We've got some children games set up for that to be done. There's so much, I can't even remember it all.
Yeah, it is hard to remember it all. And also, if you want to come dressed as a Revolutionary period character, that would be great. I know I am going to be in my costume. And I'm sure there's a lot of other folks there. We're going to have a lot of folks portraying folks that lived in Smith County during that period of time. And it's 1760 to 1820, 1840. So if you want a time frame for your costume, that's the time period. And there's a lot of history to learn. And you may say, well, why do you do a William Walton Days? Well, our schools are so busy trying to prepare our children for the world that we live in today with the computers and all of the things that are going on. Sometimes local history has to take a back seat to some of the things that are happening, and this is an opportunity for us to give our children some of the heritage that we have and let them know what the people went through to get here to open this countryside up. It was an effort. It took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to open this place up, and we need our children to know that there was a cost borne to come here to Smith County, and these people they stood up to the task, and they came up the river and they opened these settlements up, and I'm proud that I can have that heritage, that I can have the heritage here in Smith County that goes back for many generations, and I'm glad that I can be a part of that, and we just want people to know that. So it's an educational event as well as a lot of fun.
A couple other things we haven't mentioned. The DAR is still doing their William Walton essay contest
That's right.
that they done last year, and the Heritage Museum is going to be open, and they're going to have a new exhibit to unveil that day. We don't
Okay.
know what it is at this point, but it's going to be a new exhibit.
Well, there's a lot of things happening in the Heritage Museum. They have a room that they use for like plays and parties and anything like that. Also, a lot of people don't know, but you can rent the historic courthouse for your function. Like if you want to have a birthday party there, make it special, or a wedding, or just anything like that. Of course, we have the chamber community room that people can use. So there's a lot of venues that you can use around here, not just during times of Walton Days, but other times. And we're glad that they're open to the public. William Walton Days, September the 27th. The elected officials dinner, the 26th, is a kickoff. And so if you, that's from 10 o'clock until about 5 o'clock, is that right? Or
9
no?
o'clock to 5.
9 o'clock
9
to
o'clock.
5.
Last year it was 10. We moved it up to 9 o'clock this time.
Okay.
So it's 9 to 5.
9 to 5. And it's going
5K run.
Oh, we
See, I
forgot
told
about
you
that.
there's so much you can't remember it all.
The 5K run is that morning. I believe the sign up is it at 8 or is it earlier?
No, the 5K run is at 8, and the sign-up starts at 7, and that's actually sponsored by the Smith County Rotary Club and Riverview Regional is sponsoring that.
Right.
So it's a 5K, and I think they're adding a 10K to it.
They are. They're going to have a 5 and a 10K, and it'll be the first run that people will be able to go across the Cordell Hall Bridge since it's been open. And they're going to go across the bridge and come back around. So it's going to be a good run. If you're a runner, you need to sign up for that. Mr. Chris Farrell, I believe, is in charge of that.
He is.
And he's taking care of that. And of course, if you check all the normal runner sites, it'll be advertised on that, but it's the Rotary River Run, and that's taking place that morning. So we got a lot of things that are happening. We hope you'll come to William Walton Days, September the 27th, 9 to 5.
Billy, where are you going?
Oh, I was just looking at the top of the caboose here.
You know, this is a neat place. We're at the old depot out at the interstate here in Gordonsville. And Billy, you're on a mission to save this place, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, me and several other people. In fact, I want to say, just mention some names here. Virginia Solomini, appreciate you. Keith Williams, appreciate you. And I shouldn't have started that because there's several other folks that are really involved in this.
There's so many of us that want to save this whole building here.
I'm just going to stop right there. But let me explain to you what we're doing. You're going to hear about Save the Depot, and we're going to talk about that here so that we can get the word out about what we're doing. First off, I'll start with the history of it.
Yes.
Sometime in the 1980s, we have a 1986 picture of this sitting on this property. Mr. John Wagner, he was contacted the railroad, and the Carthage Junction Depot was sitting on the east end of Gordonsville over here where the tracks converge.
Right.
They had a spur that went to Carthage. They had a spur that came in from Hickman, and it went all the way through Lancaster and goes up toward Cookville. So, you know, it was the main line for the railroad.
Right.
Now, the Carthage Junction spur was built in 1888.
Okay.
All right, so we know that this depot that we're standing, not this part we're standing in now, but the part that's over here to my right that you'll be seeing pictures of, it was built sometime between 1888 and 1915. Now, I'm sure there's somebody out there that'll be able to tell us the exact date. The reason I say that is because I have a picture at the chamber of some ladies that are sitting in a cart that I've put on Facebook, and that picture, that photograph was 1914, 1915 era, and that's when the Carthage Depot was sitting there and it was intact. So we know that the age range is somewhere in that, so that we know it's well over 100 years old. And what happened is Mr. Wagner, he got wind that they were going to decommission the depot and either let it just fall into disrepair, or they were going to demolish it.
Oh.
So what he did is he purchased the building from them. He got a mover to come and pick it up, and they started toward Carthage. Now, the original intent was to take it all the way into Carthage and set it over there on his farm as an antique shop.
Oh.
But what happened is when they got to this point, they were not able to get it under the interstate. The interstate was new at that time. We didn't have some of the exits that we have now. The situation was a lot different. And so what he did is he had a lot here, and he stopped it right here, set it up, and set up an antique shop right here next to I-40. And it was an antique shop for many years here.
Yes, I remember that.
While it was here, they brought in a caboose from, I think it came from somewhere Cincinnati, and they put it in here, and then they had this caboose that's behind us is a wooden one, and as you can see,
yeah, it's falling apart.
It fell into disrepair,
right.
And basically the frame is here, and this was brought in here. This was one that ran on the L&N.
Okay.
And then there is a boxcar here. It's an oak-lined steel boxcar. I'm told it weighs 88,000 pounds.
Wow.
And it's oak-lined and insulated. And it was a beer hauler from St. Louis. They used to take and put either kegs or cases of beer in here, and they would haul that back and forth. Now, that industry has changed. There's a lot more microbreweries and things going on, so they evidently are not shipping beer like they used to. Anyway, we won't get into that.
Okay.
There's a lot of history there, but this depot is set here since that time. What has happened is KFC Taco Bell, which is across the interstate, they have decided that they're going to build a new store.
Oh, okay.
All right, and this is the lot that they have chosen. They bought this and purchased this lot. They were gracious enough to allow us to have this building. What they're going to do is they're going to hold off for 60 days and allow us to raise money to be able to move this building from here, this spot, to a spot over near Paris Park that belongs to the Smith County government. Okay? And Smith County is gracious enough that they're going to allow us to put this depot on that spot near there. And what will happen is it won't be in peril anymore, because once it gets on public land, then it'll be safe unless the government falls, and then none of us are safe. So
Well, that's a good
feel
point.
like we feel like it'll
We
be
won't
safe.
worry about it then anyway, will
Yeah,
we?
we'll have other things
Other
on our
things
minds.
to worry about.
And I believe this nation will stand for a long time. So anyway, with that said, it'll be moved to that spot and set up. And what it will become is an icon for many things. We're going to set it. The Carthage Junction Depot will be right there beside the railroad tracks that ran to Carthage Junction. And we'll be able to put some cars on there as we get the money to do that. The Tennessee Railroad Museum is going to work with us, and we're going to do some things like that. And then we've also got Piper's Ford just down at the Caney Fork River, and we're going to try to work with TWRA or anyone else that will work with us, and we're going to try to open that up. And what that will do is a lot of folks are using the Caney Fork River for recreation.
Yes.
And they'll be able to come down and get out at Piper's Ford. Now, when I was a young boy, we used to drive down to Piper's Ford, drive your car onto the gravel bar,
Yes.
and wash it there.
I know.
Everybody would have a duck if you.
Yeah, if you did that now.
they'd be flapping around if you got in the river with your car now.
Right.
But anyway, that's what we used to do. Things have changed quite a bit. But kayakers and canoers and people like that are enjoying the scenery on the river will be able
Could
to
just
get in
stop
and out.
over. That'd be a great thing. I like to kayak, but you get to the point where you want to stop and walk around for a while, so that would be a great thing.
Oh,
How
yeah,
much
it's a
money are
great
you needing to
takeout point.
raise, by the way?
Well, we've got it estimated here. The lowest point from a mover, professional mover, that we've gotten for moving the depot from this point to that point, and that's their deal. They take care of it. We don't have to worry about
Right.
how to do it.
Right.
Was $12,000 for just the move. And then there was one that was like $17,000, and we've got some more bids coming in.
Okay.
So we're trying to raise the money for that, and I'm going to go into who has donated and the money that we have here in a moment. But that gives you an idea of what we're doing and why we're trying to save the depot. The depot, World War I troops, World War II troops
Right.
went through these doors right here.
It's an
and
integral
boarded
part of
trains.
Smith County history.
Yeah, well, Cordell Hull sat in here and waited for the train. Albert Gore Sr. sat in here and waited for the train. Folks that affected the history of the world sat in this little depot right here, and they thought about what they were going to do, and they met the train, and a lot of other people. Alvin York, I have no doubt that at some point in time when he was passing through here, they did a stop here.
Right.
You know that he got off the train and walked around a little bit and looked at the river down there at Hickman Creek.
That's exactly
And
right.
so there's a lot of things that have went on in this depot, and that's why we need to keep this piece of heritage that we can. We've been really blessed. KFC Taco Bell, of course, gave us this building. Now that the steel caboose that was here was sold prior to us getting the property.
Okay.
But they're going to allow us to sell this. This caboose that's behind us, I've already sold it. Some folks in Knoxville are going to come and get this and take it out of here.
Okay.
I have not sold the boxcar yet, but we're in the process of doing that.
Okay.
We will get several $1,000 off of the sale of both of those. To date, with all the pledges that we have and the expected revenue from these, we're probably at the $6,000 to $7,000 mark. So we're very close to being able to say,
You need at least
"Come
twice
on."
that, need that much again, though, really.
Well, what we've got to do, the Smith County government has agreed to do the foundation.
Okay, great.
Cumberland Supply has agreed to supply a large portion of the materials for the foundation. So we've got that end covered.
Great.
There is going to be a bronze plaque put up. Bass Funeral Home and Sanderson's Funeral Home have agreed to take care of the plaque portion of it. And then we've got clubs that are jumping on board. This morning, Rotary Club committed $300 to this.
Okay.
Mr. Digger Poindexter committed $100 to this. There was an individual there at the Rotary Club that wanted to remain anonymous, committed $100. There's $500. If you go to GoFundMe and you look up the GoFundMe Carthage Junction Depot, we've got about $300 or so on that. And here's the point with the GoFundMe. There's 20,000 people in Smith County. If we could get 6,000 of them to donate $3 each, we would have more than enough
That's
money
right.
to move this building. if they donated $5 each, not only will we have the money to move the building, but we'd have money to be able to renovate it and make it into a real icon of what it was in the
Right.
past.
And you know, that's what brings tourists in. They like to see old buildings, things that they can go through and learn a little bit of history about. That's what a lot of people do on their days off. Retired folks like to travel these back roads and come to these smaller counties and see what they have to offer.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
be a great thing for us if we can.
Well, just 2 weeks ago, I had two ladies from Alberta, Canada, walk into the chamber, and they wanted to know everything that they could find out about Al Gore Sr. and Al Gore Jr. And of course, I told them where he used to live on Fight Avenue, or was it Jefferson? I forget. But I told them where they used to live there. I told them about the Cordell Hull home that's down off of Main Street. I told them about his home out by the Caney Fork. On the river there, the Caney
Right.
Fork Bridge, and then I told them about his office, and so I gave them something. They wound up staying the night. I think they stayed in the Walton Hotel.
Oh, wow.
And of course they bought meals while they were here, and they went to the souvenir shop or the antique shop. So
Right.
if we get a lot of people like that, and think about it, they were from Alberta, Canada.
Right.
That's what amazes me.
Yeah.
Is these two ladies walk in and they want to know all about it. People are fascinated with things that we take for granted.
Exactly.
And we've been
Exactly.
blessed. We've got the Cordell Hull Bridge that's been rebuilt.
Right.
We've got the old courthouse, historic courthouse. And maybe if, well, not maybe, I feel confident we'll have the depot and several other things. I've got like 3.5 pages of places that you can go and just look at in Smith County alone. And there's a lot of history here.
There is now. If someone's in our audience that would like to, that's listening to this right now, if they wanted to donate, what do they need to do?
Okay, the first thing you can do is come by the Chamber of Commerce, and you can write a check out to the Smith County Chamber of Commerce, Save the Depot Fund.
Okay.
And that money will go directly towards saving the depot. You can go online and go to the GoFundMe site, and if you can't find that, just email us or look on our webpage at smithcountychamber.org, and you'll be able to click on that and go to the GoFundMe site, and you can donate with your credit card or whatever.
Okay.
I would rather they bring it by the chamber because there is a fee, obviously, when you
Right.
donate to one of those sites.
Right.
But we are raising the money, and it looks like we're going to make it, and I'm really excited about this.
I am too. I have looked at this little place since I came here in 1983. I've always loved this place, and I kept thinking, it's falling apart. Why don't people do something? So I'm so happy that you and the interested folks, and hopefully I can get some of my FCE clubs involved in this too, and we can get this place saved for future generations to come.
Well, we're going to talk to the Southside Lions Club here in Gordonsville Thursday night, and we're going to see what they want to donate. And there's a lot of folks, businesses around here. There's a lot of people that have taken an interest in this
Right.
and really want it. One young man, Mr. Rob Kirby, he is already ready to do train displays and,
Oh, wow,
and
that'd be
things like that
great.
in the depot. One interesting fact. A lot of people look at this and they see this building that's added on. Well, this actually was put onto the old depot. All we've got to do is cut it away, and the original depot is intact.
Right.
So this is
Yeah,
this
it's
is going
not
to be a
in
good
bad
project.
shape down, that part of it.
It is not. It was well placed on this piece of property, and even the old semaphore pole that's out front, it's still like it was, and the levers are inside to operate it. And you're going to see pictures of this depot. We're showing you the pictures of it the way it is now, because we want to be able to come back in about a year and show you the way it looks after we get it relocated and everything fixed up. So we're really excited about this. Folks, make a donation to Save the Depot, or call somebody and get involved in the volunteer effort. Rackley Roofing, they're going to help us. And again, I shouldn't start naming people, but it's just as they come to mind. We've got a lot of folks that are going to take an interest in this.
Well, I'm excited that we're saving a piece of our history.
Yes. So call the chamber, 735-2093, or go on our website. It's smithcountychamber.org, and we'll give you the information on how you can help save the depot. Boy, September is an exciting month because we got a lot going on, right?
Yeah, we sure do. In fact, we've got something coming up next weekend.
Yeah.
Not this weekend, but next, September 13th, that we need to tell everybody about.
Yeah, it's the Kids Central celebration. If you haven't heard of this, if you've got anybody in your family that's school age, they need to come to this, especially the younger children. They really love this. It's September the 13th. It starts at 10 a.m. It goes to 2 p.m. and it's at this Kids Central Park. And if you don't know where that is, that's in South Carthage, and it's
Next to Crump Harris Ballparks.
right next to all the ball fields that are
Where
over
the
there.
soccer field is.
The soccer field, yeah, exactly. And if you've ever noticed that castle sitting down there, that's the focal point for the celebration.
Sure is.
And last year, guess how many folks came by?
600.
800.
Wow.
800
wow.
folks came by, and we've got all kind of folks that are going to be there. Our friends DTC, they're going to set up a, I guess it's a little demonstration with a, I won't give away everything, but they do something with like a not a four-wheeler, but a little cart, a golf cart, and it's pretty interesting. EMS is going to be there. Sheriff's Department's going to be there. I don't know if they'll be there, but in years past we had the Life Flight folks come in, and they actually landed on the site. There's going to be at least 30 different vendors that are there, and then the best part of all, free food.
Yeah, you get a hamburger if you come, so bring your family and come on. There's going to be all kinds of vendors there. This event is in recognition of Family Health and Fitness Month. So most of them, not all, but most of the vendors there or the exhibitors are actually going to be talking about health-related issues. But now I'll be there representing Keep Smith County Beautiful. I've got bunches of giveaways. Oh my
yeah.
gosh, I've got a bunch.
Everybody does that.
Yeah, I mean, you need to come. There's also going to be a cornhole tournament, and it's at 10:30. Sign-ups are from 9 until 10.
Right.
And it's $10 per person or $20 per team. And let's see, they've got double elimination, cash payout, 70% of the intake. So it's going to be a neat thing if you like cornhole.
Well, think about it. You could actually make money tossing a bag of corn. That's
I
interesting.
know, but it's fun.
It is fun.
But there's going to be, I mean, you will leave there with a ton of giveaway items. They are so cool. I mean, and it's for all ages, really.
Well, and what I like too is eye exams. They're going to do free eye exams. I think they're going to do hearing exams. They've got health professionals there, and they're going to. I think one of them is going to do the what is the stuff you put on your teeth? Sealing or whatever.
Oh, okay, okay.
They've got all kind of things going on like that, health related, that if you went somewhere else, who knows what it would cost, and
That is
it's
the
going to be
truth.
free.
You're exactly right. The fire safety education is going to be there doing their thing. The smokehouse, I guess, I'm not sure exactly what that, but anyway, there's going to be giveaways, there's going to be door prizes, free hot dogs and hamburgers. So there's hot dogs also.
Right.
And let's see if there was anything
Well,
else we
there's
needed to
musical
tell them.
entertainment. I know they have a
yeah,
stage,
yeah.
and I know Mr. Jim West from Z104,
Right.
which, by the way, we appreciate the radio
Yes, we
station.
do.
They support us. He's going to be there doing the announcing, and they're going to have a lot of things going on from an entertainment, local folks that are going to be singing, and
Yeah.
then some other demonstrations
I
that are
think they
going
have
on.
face painting, balloons. They have all kinds of things for kids.
Mr. Nathan Purdy
Purty,
is
yeah.
going to be there, and he's going to be doing face painting. And I know last year he was he stayed until the last child got their whatever icon they wanted on their face.
I mean, and he is great too.
Yes, he is.
I want to encourage you to come though. It starts at 10 a.m. It goes until 2 p.m. By the way, this is a litter-free event, so if you do come, we invite you or ask you, please, to help us keep it clean. We'll have plenty of trash cans. We want to show our leaders in the community, that are our government leaders, that we can have a litter-free event. And so we encourage you to come out, bring your kids, bring your grandkids. Bring the whole family, and you will have a great day, I promise you.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. So load them up.
September 13th.
Load them up in the wagon and come on down. Don't forget Kids Central, September the 13th from 10
10 to 2.
a.m. to 2 p.m. And it's at the park over in South Carthage by the ball fields. Well, we're still here at the depot, and as you can see behind us, this is the old boxcar that used to run out of St. Louis, and like I told you earlier, they hauled beer in it, and so it got retired to better things. And it was an antique store for many years, and then I think it was a car dealership. And
It's been everything.
It's been everything.
I'm telling you.
And it's going to be something else here. We're going to sell this. It's an oak lined, and it weighs about 88,000 pounds, so I can't pick it up.
No.
And it's solid steel on the outside, so it's a big one. Anyway, we're talking about the Save the Depot campaign, but I wanted to run over or run through, or what is the proper way to say that?
You were thinking about that train when you were thinking about
Yeah,
running over, okay?
Anyway, Adult Leadership, they have a project that they're doing. And
Oh.
They're going to do some signage in the county, and this is the Adult Leadership group that's currently in session, and they're doing signage in the county, and that's one of the things that these Adult Leadership groups do is they do things that are hopefully permanent in the county to try and help things out.
They're looking for some funding, I think, on that too, aren't they?
Yeah,
A little
as a matter of-
assistance, maybe?
As a matter of fact, several businesses have sent them checks, and
Good.
they'll be putting a list out of who's helped them out on that.
The new jail, the new courthouse and jail, I think, is that what they were going to get the
Right, they're
signage
gonna
for? And
put
it's
signage up.
needed.
Yeah.
Badly needed. So
Yeah, some of the folks are trying to get there, and they can't find a place because
they still
it's,
go to the old courthouse, really.
you would be surprised. I'll be up at the courthouse, and somebody will walk in and go, "Where do I pay my ticket?"
Yeah,
I
they
said,
still
"Well,
think.
you got to go." So it's interesting. Also, I wanted to mention youth leadership. We just picked our classes. We have some students out of the junior class in Gordonsville High School,
Okay.
out of the junior class in Smith County High School, and we have a homeschooler this year
Okay, good.
that's joining the class.
Good.
There's 12 of these young men and ladies, and they're a good mix of the county, and they're going to be doing some projects. But the first thing they get to do is a team building exercise. That's a lot of fun. We're going to kayak the Caney Fork.
Oh, fun. Can I come?
You certainly can.
Oh, goody, goody. I love to kayak.
Hey, it's on the
I love to
6th. It's
kayak.
on a Saturday. We're going to leave early in the morning. We're led by our illustrious mayor, Michael Nesbitt.
Ooh,
We're going
okay.
to follow him down the Caney Fork.
All right, he's a good leader, so
Yeah,
we can do that.
So we're going to do that, and I think Mr. George McDonald is also going to be leading the way.
He's a big kayaker. He and his girls are.
Yeah, he. That was one of the reasons that we got them, because we knew that we'd have some experts, because they do that a lot.
Yes.
And they'll take and drag us people that are kind of not as experienced along. Anyway, we're doing that, and then the leadership group will pick out a project on through the year. They go to the Capitol. They go around to all the businesses. So leadership, youth leadership, is a good thing. If you have somebody in your family and they're a sophomore in one of the high schools or in homeschool, you need to have them thinking about applying for youth leadership, because it's a wonderful program for the
It really is.
get involved in, and it helps with scholarships.
It does, and for when I went through it, I learned so much about Smith County.
Yes.
That I never knew. As long as I've almost 32 years I've been here and didn't know a lot of that. So I
Yeah,
encourage you to be a part of that, really, adults or youth.
Oh yeah, it's a wonderful program.
Every
and you
year.
get to help the county. You learn things yourself, and you can feel really good about that. There's the train whistle.
Yeah, sounds like it's just pulled up.
Yeah, he is definitely wanting us to move out of the way. That's
Somebody's
an air
horn's
horn.
going off. But anyway, we also need to recap. We've talked about a lot today. I know we've shared a lot of information with you, but want to remind everybody about the Kids Central celebration, which is just around the corner.
September the 13th.
September 13th from 10 to 2. That's for families. Come on out there. It's going to be at the Kids Central Playground, on there where the soccer fields are on Highway 53.
And then we're going to have William Walton Days, actually the elected official supper. And I like to say, the folks that you put into office, that you elected, they're the ones that's paying for this supper. And it's going to be the 26th of September
Right.
on a Friday evening there at the courthouse grounds.
And they need to call your office to get on a ticket or
Right,
get on the
they'll have
register.
tickets, and the reason they do that so they'll know how many people they're feeding.
Exactly.
And you can see one of the elected officials, and they'll have these tickets as well.
And then the event is actually on Saturday, September 27th from 9 until 5. Is
That's
that right?
right.
And it's
9
at the
until 5.
courthouse and in various places. A lot of things going on.
A lot of things going on. They're going to do a little ceremony and stuff down at the Walton Grave site.
Right.
And so we've got several things that are going on there on the courthouse square.
And then, of course, just to recap again about the Granville Quilt Show, the reason we're talking about this, even though it's October 4th, is because we won't do another show until after that's over.
Right.
And so we want to make sure you know about that. It's Saturday, October the 4th. We take quilt entries here in Smith County at the Community Bank in Carthage on October the 2nd. From 1 to 3. That's at Community Bank in Carthage from 1 to 3 on October the 2nd. And of course, you want to come on down to Granville on the 4th. It's a great day. It's their Fall Heritage Festival, I think, and so much going on. I mean, we've got something
yeah.
every month,
well,
every week.
The community of Pleasant Shade, I know they've got several things going on in October, and the way to find out about that is check our website or call us, and we'll be able to tell you at 735-2093 or smithcountychamber.org. And also don't want you to forget about the Save the Depot campaign that we've
Yes,
got going
absolutely.
on. GoFundMe.com and look up Carthage Junction Depot, or you can just simply come by the chamber, and we're going to be doing this all during the month. We're going to move this depot off of this property and set it over there in South Carthage.
And you've got a small window of opportunity to do that. So
Yeah,
we
we've-
really need your funds for that if you would be willing to donate.
And don't feel if it's $3 or it's $5 or it's something more than that, we can use your donation to help make this
Exactly.
happen.
All right. Well, this has been a big day and at such a historical place, and I'm still hot. Are you?
Well, the air conditioning is not working too well around here.
No,
And,
they're not blowing enough air in through the opening out there, but
one thing we can sure vouch for, there's a lot of folks on this highway out here.
you can hear it.
This is a busy
So,
place. Well, we're glad that we are able to tell you about what's going on in Smith County. We appreciate you watching, and we hope that you'll tune in next month. We'll be telling you about stuff going on in October and November, and then on into December. We've got some exciting stuff happening in Smith
Yes.
County. So we love you. God bless.
Bye, everybody.